Richard, let's go straight to the future.
Absolutely.
In 10 years, if we look forward, how do you feel the AI will have changed the world already?
Massively. It will be an entirely different world. Many people will have been replaced, but many new people will have bring new skills and new jobs that were not existing before across all industries. And this will be primarily felt first in the first world, where adoption is happening faster, and secondarily in the emerging market world, where we are right now, exist some of the biggest opportunities.
When you say people will be replaced, it of course sounds rather cruel and depressing.
Yes.
But is this something where you also recognize opportunities?
Tremendous opportunities, yes. However, this requires a change of mindset that we need to adopt to, rather than be afraid of the machine and the AI, we should embrace it. Because in emerging markets, we're lagging tremendously. Therefore, we need to accelerate this push across academia, private sector, and all different industries. We should seek ways to incorporate AI into our daily work and gradually catch up. Because even if we are not the main innovators, being the adopters as well can also make a big difference.
What is for you the most exciting thing happening right now when it comes to AI?
So I think two areas are very interesting. One of them relates to AI in sustainable finance. We see this we work closely with United Nations, and we see AI being adopted in critical areas on a large scale, including technologies that incorporate use of multi-language. Basically, most of the AI today is trained on English, so we see new AI that can work across English and Spanish and Portuguese and other languages. And this matters a lot in places like Latin America, where more than 70% of the data we estimate is not in English. So the new AI can capture this data and use it to train the AIs and mitigate bias.
Can you tell me a bit more specifically about your work and the areas you are interested in?
Absolutely, yes. So I specifically work with a strong focus on the Sustainable Development Goals, which is the sign I'm wearing. And it relates to, basically it's a world beyond ESG. ESG is more traditional term known for investors as environmental social governance. So SDG goes beyond that on a wider impact. A good example is, for example, health. In the traditional ESG, the only indicator that relates to health is employee satisfaction. So this one indicator was used to explain COVID on a large scale, and that doesn't really make sense. But SDGs have many more indicators that relate to health for different age brackets, and also different indicators on a micro and macro scale that are far more comprehensive, and that's exactly what we need to drive a difference.
Which countries do you find are liveliest when we talk about AI?
More lively?
Liveliest. Where is the most happening in terms of AI?
I see Asia is pretty active, particularly countries like South Korea and Japan, and some parts of Hong Kong as well, and that's beyond the United States. And in Latin America, we see Mexico City and Colombia being leaders, and Brazil catching up, with RIO being one of the leading players in this space.
Related to AI, of course, in which area do you see the biggest investment opportunities? You mentioned healthcare, you mentioned various things, but where do you sort of see we should all look at?
Yeah, I think in the short term, besides healthcare, I would say finance, specifically microfinance, and how machines can help calculate the credit of people to make it more available to lower income brackets. That's one. Transportation as well. It's going to revolutionize across logistical companies and how warehouses and logistics are on a large scale. And even energy, in which Brazil is an important player, and commodities. That's also going to be a major area for AI.
As someone who is so invested in spending so much time thinking about AI, do you think it is still important, this human touch of sitting down and talking, which we are doing now here at the FII conferences?
I would say so, yes. I think the human touch will never be lost. However, at some point it will be augmented by the machine. And I always mention that the future is not machine, the future is not human. The future is human AI combined and towards a better future.
Thank you very much indeed.